There's a moment in every modern BMW job where you realize just how far Immobilizer systems have come, because adding a key is no longer just a plug-in-and-go task. It's a process that demands patience, the right tools, and a clear understanding of what's happening behind the scenes. BMW's BDC2 system is a perfect example of that shift, and if you've been wondering how technicians are handling key addition on these newer G Series cars without relying solely on dealer-level solutions, this walkthrough brings some clarity. This is Hussein, and you're watching Baabji Motors, where we focus on real workshop procedures, diagnostic tools, and practical programming knowledge. What you're about to hear is shared strictly for educational and informational purposes, to help technicians and learners understand how the process works in their professional environment. Always follow manufacturer instructions and local regulations when working on vehicle security systems. Stick with me until the end, because I'll explain where this method makes sense, where it doesn't, and what you should be careful about before attempting it yourself. And I'd really like to know your thoughts on this approach, especially if you've already worked with BDC2 systems in the field. OBDSTAR has enabled an add key function for BMW G Series vehicles equipped with the BDC2 Immobilizer by updating their BMW Immobilizer software. It's important to be honest here. This is not necessarily the ultimate or dealer-level solution, but it does provide an alternative path for workshops that already use OBDSTAR equipment and understand the risks and limitations involved. To carry out this procedure, you'll need an OBDSTAR X300 Classic G3 device, the OBDSTAR P005 BMW BDC2 adapter, at least one original working key, and the new original compatible key that you plan to program. Having a stable power supply is also critical, because voltage drops during bench work can cause communication failures or data corruption. The entire process is broken into 4 logical stages. First is backing up the coding through the vehicle's OBD port. This step is crucial because it creates a safety net in case something goes wrong later. Second is preprocessing, which is done on the bench. Third is repairing or preparing the ECU data, also performed on the bench. And finally, the key learning step, which can be done either on the bench through OBD simulation or back in the vehicle through the OBD port. The second step is where many technicians pause, because it requires removing the BDC2 module from the vehicle. Once the module is out, it must be opened carefully and connected to the OBDSTAR P005 adapter in bench mode. The adapter setup has to follow the correct pin layout, and the 12-volt power supply must be connected to the adapter. When everything is connected properly, the communication indicator on the adapter will light up, confirming that the connection is stable. With communication established, the preprocessing procedure is performed using the G3 device. This step prepares the BDC2 data so that the system can accept a new key slot later. Once preprocessing is complete, the workflow moves into the key learning phase. At this point, you have 2 options. You can connect the BDC2 module to a dedicated test platform and perform the key learning via OBD while still on the bench, or you can reinstall the BDC2 module back into the vehicle and perform the learning through the vehicle's OBD port. Both methods are supported, and the choice often depends on workshop preference and the vehicle's condition. When you enter the Learn Key function on the G3, the system will prompt you to select an unused key position. It's essential to choose a slot that is truly free to avoid overwriting an existing key. The working key is then placed on the G3's induction coil so the device can read and verify the key information. After that, the new key is placed on the induction coil, and the system generates the new key data. Once the process completes successfully, the tool will confirm that the key has been generated. The final learning sequence inside the vehicle follows a specific order. All other keys must be removed from the vehicle to prevent interference. The newly generated key is placed near the key induction area, usually located under or near the steering column. The ignition switch is then pressed and held for approximately 15 seconds to allow the system to recognize the key. After this, the vehicle should be started to confirm successful programming. So, does this method actually work in the real world? Yes, when performed correctly, it can successfully add a key to a BMW BDC2 system. But here's the honest answer to the question I asked earlier. This approach is best suited for experienced technicians who understand Immobilizer data handling, benchwork risks, and the importance of proper backups. It's not a beginner-friendly shortcut, and it shouldn't replace official procedures when those are available and practical. Personally, I see this as a useful alternative rather than a perfect solution. It gives independent workshops more flexibility, but it also demands responsibility, precision, and respect for vehicle security systems. If you disagree or have had a different experience with BDC2 key programming, I'd genuinely like to hear your perspective in the comments. One extra tip that often gets overlooked is battery stability. Whether you're working on the bench or through the vehicle, always use a regulated power supply. Many failed key learning attempts trace back to unstable voltage rather than software or hardware faults. If this breakdown helped you understand the process better, let's set a small goal of 1,000 likes and 100 comments. Only a small percentage of viewers watching these in-depth videos are actually subscribed, and subscribing directly helps Baabji Motors grow, reach the #1 spot in this niche, and continue producing detailed, time-intensive analysis like this. These videos take real effort to research, test, and explain clearly, and your likes, shares, and subscriptions directly support that work. Share this video if the topic resonated with you, and if there are any affiliate tools mentioned in the description, they're disclosed properly and help support the channel at no extra cost to you. Thanks for watching, and as always, keep learning, keep sharpening your skills, and happy diagnosing.